Welcome to 5 Days in Madeira. I want to start this video with a confession and an apology. First, my confession. I was just a little bit anxious about going to Madeira. I had read so much about the island, the amazing walks, the mountains, the steep hills. And to tell you the truth, my hips just aren't what they were 20 years ago. And I thought, well, could I really do it all? Could I do everything I wanted to do? Well, with a little preconditioning and some ibuprofen, we did lavadas walks, we went to Sao Lourenço, we swam in the ocean, and we climbed plenty of steep hills. It was all good. Secondly, an apology. Please do not count the number of times I use the word beautiful in this video. I just couldn't help myself. The island is absolutely stunning, and we enjoyed every minute of it. So let's go to Madeira. So I decided to ask ChatGPT, how do you spend a perfect day in Funchal, Madeira? It came up with a pretty big itinerary for the day, but we're going to try and do it all their recommendations. We're going to go up a cable car. Well, that was a completely unrealistic plan for the day. I think we got done about half what they recommended. Anyway, it was a great day. So our first stop here is the cable car. That's going to take us up to Monte Palace. And unfortunately, we're starting our day just a little bit late. So there's quite a big lineup already for the cable car. So once you get to the top of the cable car, you can head into the Monte Palace Tropical Garden. This place is a lush 70,000 square meter botanical paradise with exotic plants and stunning views. Oh, here we are at the famous area where you can take these sleds down the hill. I don't think we're going to do it today, but we're going to get to watch some of it. So after an amazing couple of hours here up at the top, we are going to head back down on the cable car. I'll show you the view again. The cable car up to the top starts right on the edge of Old Town. So we're going to go do a little exploring and check out the cathedral there. Let's go. After several hours exploring the old town, it was time to head back to our accommodation and get ready for dinner. So it's day 2 of our 5-day trip to Madeira, and we rented a car, and it's a little Kia, and it's pretty perky, but man, the hills are steep. So today we are heading up the south coast, and we're going to do a day trip and see how far we get. Our first stop here is Cape Garo, which is 589 meters, perched over the edge of a cliff. The views are spectacular, but it's pretty crowded. We had a quick view and then we continued our drive along the south coast. We've driven about as far east as we're going to go today, and then we're going to start heading back and stop along the south coast. And we're at the Ponta de Pargo lighthouse, and you can just see a beautiful coastline in the background. So we've stopped here in the town of Ponta de Pargo, and it looks like there's a little street fair going on. You can probably see it looks super smoky behind me, and we're going to check out the food. It looks so yummy. So Steve's just over there buying our meat. It's gonna go on a skewer. How come we had to get two of them?
I didn't know what I was getting.
Wow, what are we gonna do with all that meat? Maybe we can share it with somebody. True confession, we ate way more of that meat than I thought we were going to. So our second stop of the day here on the south coast is we are doing a lavada walk at Presares. So not too long and it's nice and flat. So right at the beginning of the walk here, there's a nice little tap that you can refill your water bottles with cold water. The lavada walks follow lavadas, which are these canals that take irrigation water all over the island, with these gorgeous smelling eucalyptus trees. Lovely. So our last stop of the day here on the south coast of Madeira is at Jardim do Mar, Gardens by the Sea. And wow, it's so beautiful here, just right on the ocean with a beautiful breeze. We're just going to take a walk along the promenade. Whoa! And we ended day 2 with a sunset walk along the promenade. It's day 3 in Madeira, and we are headed up to explore the north coast. And we've just left the coast and we're heading into the mountains, and wow, the drive up is just absolutely beautiful. So our first stop this morning is Fanal Forest, which is a really famous and ancient oak forest. And we're just going to do a bit of hiking here and I'll show you what it's like. What's our goal here?
To call in the fog so we get lost.
And make it up to the ridge up there?
Make it up to the ridge and have to feel our way back.
Oh, we've got the fog starting to roll in over the hills. Almost reached the little peak right here in the mist, the fog rolling in and out. You can see where we've come from, the parking lot. We've reached the top of this little hill with just beautiful views out over the forest. And when we look this way, you could see the coast if it was clear, but you're just seeing the mist. Oh, and just 30 seconds later, the laurel forest is obscured by mist. The road back down to the coast was steep and windy, and we stopped several times just to admire the views. So we've stopped in Porto Moniz, and this is going to be our northernmost stop on this day trip. And we are going to go swimming in the natural swimming pools here. So let me show you what it's like. Hi, John. Down the coast over there are the paid swimming pools. And then if you come along here, we are at the free pools, which look really nice. This is in Porto Moniz as well. And too soon it was time to drive back up the coast and over the mountains to our home in Funchal. It's day 4 and we are off to the southeastern end of the island to do the Sao Lourenço hike. This is a 3-kilometer out and back hike, and it was just a little more challenging than I was expecting. Just a couple hundred meters in and we get our first sight of the ocean. Okay, I think that far point that you can see is right where we're headed. Okay, we're about 2 kilometers in, and the scenery just keeps getting better and better. Okay, you can see where the final push is to the viewpoint at the Dragon's Tail. Steve's heading for it. And right down there is a cafe. That's where I'm headed. The last bit is a little bit of a scramble, but Steve made it to the top. So it's our 5th and final day in Madeira, and we're going to start the morning here at the Mercados das Lavradoras. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's a public market in the old town that sells very expensive fruits and vegetables. It's pretty much geared towards tourists, but it's definitely fun to walk around. So we're going to do a final short hike here in Madeira, and it's the Lavada das Balcões, and it's just a 3-kilometer out and back, and it follows the Lavada, and it's supposed to have really lovely views. So let's go. Lovely walk through the forest here. Just following along this Lavada. Half a kilometer in or so, we're getting our first amazing views here. And about a third of the way in, you come to this very civilized place to stop and have something to eat or drink. And just enjoy the view from the balcony. And it was time to take the long way back to Funchal on some of the most beautiful scenery we'd been on yet. And it also included a little bit of a scary one-way tunnel. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, you might want to check out some of my other videos that I made on our trip to Portugal. You can find them on my Portugal playlist on my channel, Not Lost Adventures.